Love is such a beautiful thing. Every relationship that you have is with yourself. Every single relationship that we get in reveals hidden parts of ourselves that we wouldn't get to learn about otherwise. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Matt's Insights. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is a really touching one and a very important one. Lately, I've been thinking about this idea that every relationship that we have is with ourselves. But before I want to break that down and go into detail, I want to talk about love. Love is such a beautiful thing. Opening yourself up to relationships, to being close with someone, to sharing a bond like no other, and really opening yourself up to vulnerability is one of the most amazing things, one of the most rewarding things that we can ever experience in our lives. But unfortunately, with love, you have to risk loss and heartbreak. And that's absolutely terrifying. If you've been through a breakup or you've lost a person of significance in your life, I know you know the feeling. Grief is absolutely devastating, and I truly think it's one of the most painful things that we can ever experience. But with the pain of grief is also the opportunity for so much positivity in your life, so much growth and love and compassion. I really like the idea that suffering breeds compassion. And I think when you go through relationships of any kind, you're going to experience pain. You're going to experience some form of suffering, no matter how good the relationship is or how amazing the person is. There's always some form of suffering and pain and loss because everything is temporary. And I think while that's like one of the hardest things to really accept and grapple with, it's also one of the most beautiful things because it truly brings significance to our relationships and to our lives. And so while I think loving someone is a great risk and can be very scary, I also think it's so important and it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever do in your life. So relationships are catalysts for significant growth in your life. I truly believe they're one of the most important things when it comes to growing as a person. And I think that there's a lot of growth that is kind of locked behind the doors of relating closely to other people. If you were to isolate yourself and be alone, there's just so many things about yourself that you're not going to figure out just by being on your own. You have to relate to other people. You have to have interactions with other people, and you really have to open the door for closeness and vulnerability with someone else to find out these parts of yourself that you otherwise would never know about. I think one of the most beautiful things about relationships is that we get to love people in different ways. And because of that, we go through different circumstances and through different challenges. And we also are going to make different mistakes in every relationship. And those mistakes and those like issues that we come across, those difficulties that we experience, it's not like they're not part of you just because you haven't been in a relationship that hasn't brought it out of you yet. It's still part of you, and there's so many parts of us that we need to heal, but we often don't really even know about them until we come across them in real life. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about relationships is there's just so much room for growth. And something that I realized in my most recent relationship is that before it, I really thought that I knew myself better than I actually do. And in a stupid way, I kind of thought that, you know, because I've had good intentions throughout my life, that I could do um, sort of no wrong. But I've realized through my most recent trials and tribulations that there's so much more that I don't know about myself. And there's so much stuff that I truly need to work on. Um, I'm learning that, like, just because I feel as if I have good intentions, that doesn't mean that, like, I can't do things wrong and hurt other people. And that was something that was extremely valuable that I got from my most recent relationship. Another thing that I think is extremely valuable about relationships is that because it brings out a different kind of love from us, we get to see, like, how much or how little we love ourselves. Something that I've learned recently is that I love very deeply, and oftentimes I get so lost in trying to express my love for someone else and trying to maybe pick up the pieces if something went wrong or if I made a mistake. And I get so caught up in trying to take care of this other person because they mean so much to me. And in that process, I I lose, like, hold of loving myself. What that really means is that we're projecting this love onto someone that we really want back. And I've spent so much time in my most recent relationship, like, loving this person so much and trying so hard to do everything I could to feel that love being reciprocated. And while I was doing that, like, I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't giving anything to myself back. And I was kind of feeling as if I didn't deserve it because the reciprocity that I was seeking, I wasn't getting. And so I kind of just figured, like, oh, maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm not worthy of it. And I had no idea that, like, all this love that I was trying to give was really kind of just a cry for, um, I don't want to say help, but it was like kind of a cry to be loved back and wanting so badly for someone to love me just as much as I love them. And it's really sad looking back on it because I'm learning that, like, by loving someone, I'm learning that I don't love myself enough. And that's something that I really need to work on and try to heal. And if you've, been through the same thing, or you've been in relationships where you're just expressing so much love and you feel like you're not getting it back, and then you also are neglecting yourself and your own needs, chances are that, like, you are so stuck on, um, I guess, trying to receive that love and validation from someone else instead of giving it to yourself. And I think that's, like, an extremely important thing that maybe we have to be aware of and take note of and try to learn about, because we should never, and I already know this, and yet somehow I still fall into the trap, but we should never try to seek external validation and love from someone else or something outside of us, because as we know, that stuff is so fleeting and so unreliable. Like, the the only person that you truly always have to look after you is yourself. And so maybe if in your relationships you've been so focused on loving the other person and yet you've felt hurt and empty in certain ways, maybe there's a strong chance that you're learning that you really need to work on loving and caring for yourself and not needing someone else to do that for you. And so the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because I'm going through the process of grieving a 3-year relationship that has meant so much to me and is really causing me so much pain to lose. And there's times when I feel really lost and hopeless and really scared. And it can be very overwhelming and unbearable at times. But I'm really trying to take this loss and this pain and look at the bright side of things. This opportunity that I have and that I've been given has been really, really beautiful, despite all the pain and heartache, because I'm learning so much more about myself. And these past few years with this person have been incredible in so many ways, because I learned things about myself that I never knew. And I learned things about other people and how to communicate and how much impact we have on other people. I've also learned that I have a lot of parts of myself that I really need to heal. I realize that I don't think I love myself enough, and I think that that can show up in relationships in ways that are maybe under the radar a little bit. Because when you're in a relationship and you're just so focused on the other person, and you're just really kind of in it and trying to be present for the experience, you can definitely lose touch with yourself, and you can lose touch with parts of yourself. And I've realized that I really need to work on loving myself and taking everything that I've learned from this relationship and using it to become a better version of myself. And so while I'm experiencing a lot of loss and I feel really scared at this moment, I hope that you guys can relate to me in some way if you've been in a relationship that's changed you, or if you've experienced some sort of loss or breakup. I wanted to get on here and just kind of speak about how on the other side of all the pain of losing something like that, or even just being in a relationship that maybe you haven't lost, there is so much growth that is there if you can just step back and really take the time to evaluate the different parts of your relationship and the different parts of yourself that were revealed in that process. Don't waste this opportunity. I think everything that happens in our lives, especially the painful things, especially the suffering, breeds so many wonderful opportunities for growth and especially compassion. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit jumbled. I've kind of been all over the place a little bit lately, and it's been hard to kind of stick with things and really sort things out in an organized way. I've just kind of been going through, emotional chaos and mental chaos lately, and it's been challenging. But as I said, it's also really beautiful if I can just look at it that way. So anyways, I'm sorry if this video was kind of all over the place and maybe not very well put together, but I hope that you got something valuable from it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.